one question for me is, does Lex start out knowing he's going to do something wrong, or does he start out planning to do something, the right way, and incrementally things start to go wrong and he ends up in a bad place? And I think I'd like to believe it's the latter, that he starts out with this idea that he thinks is a good business idea. He's kind of sort of put it together with bits of other people's ideas, starts out in a place where he thinks, well, it's a good idea and can make some money. Turns out he kind of can't make money that way. So he incrementally changes it until, he's miles away from where the starting point was. Now, I'm not absolving him of any kind of criticism or blame, because I think, some people, you or I, might say, hang on a minute, this isn't the plan and it's gone wrong, and so we better stop. And some people just keep digging, thinking they can get out the problem. I think that's, maybe Lex's personality flaw is so much self-belief that when things start to go wrong, rather than sort of say, hey, I've made a bunch of loans here that aren't good, he says, I've made a bunch of loans here, they're not good right now, I'll recover them if I can just grow this business bigger. I'll sort myself out.
Well, it is almost like a Greek tragedy to some extent. He's in, or almost, I don't know, it reminds me of a film noir. You get charmed by the girl, the next thing you've murdered her husband and you're on the run. And then you've got to do bigger and bigger things to sort of, or another metaphor is when you're at the racetrack and you've got to get out, you've got to get your money back on the last race in Brisbane. It's just escalating the bets. I just couldn't believe, reading your book, how he went from one financier to the next, SoftBank and then, and Credit Suisse and really, in the end, I mean, it was one bailing out the other in reality, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's just the money just keeps shifting from one place to the next. And so essentially Credit Suisse, what happens at GAM is the first time it really goes wrong in a big way. And GAM has to close down its funds. This is like $10 billion fund, has to close down. And essentially he gets Credit Suisse to buy out the worst stuff. He just moves it into Credit Suisse. So, GAM gets to say, hey, we fixed this, we solved our problem, we cleared out the fund. But what nobody really knows is that it's just been shoveled off to another guy. It's just another bigger bank that's taken on the problems.